Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to News in Motion. Today is Tuesday, March 21st, 2023. And if this is your first time tuning in, we just want to say welcome. This is News in Motion, a news outlet featuring relevant commentary. And today is That's Happening Tuesday. So we got a lot of headline news for you. Whether you're tuning in through Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, we want to say good morning to you. Or if you're catching a replay, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of the day it is. We can't really tell what time it gets dark out now because of daylight savings, but that's all right. That's all right. Also want to give a shout out to all of our podcast and audio listeners as you're heading into the workplace, maybe going to the grocery store to whip up an omelet, whatever you're doing right now. Be sure to keep your eyes on the road. Stay safe, y'all. This today is That's Happening Tuesday. So grab your pen and paper, grab your coffee, and let's get ready for this news in motion, y'all.
News in motion.
What's up, everybody? I am trying to follow all the screens, and so many of you are rolling up in here this morning. It is That's Happening Tuesday. I see my brother, Louis Pryor. I see Deborah Johnson. I see Felicia Williams. I see Dr. Antoinette. What's up, Patrice Jones? I see Felicia Williams. I see Regina Shorts. I see Marion Jackson. I see Shirley Nicholson. I see Robert Holman. I see Adrian. I'm just seeing all of y'all all over the place. So I am just so thrilled to be here to share this news in motion. Y'all, isn't Isaiah off the chain? I just love the levels that he's going, and I'm his cheerleader. I'm his cheerleader. We were laughing in the green room. We always have conversations. I'm sure his household probably like, what are they talking about today? But we were talking about. I told Isaiah, I said, my brain is just fried with news. And he started laughing. I said, what are you laughing at? He said, I never thought my auntie, the political, I can't remember all the words he used. He said, whatever say, her brain is fried with news. I said, it is. I said, we've been going since January in the news cycle that just keeps coming. I said, we never have to worry about not having anything to say. And then I told him, I said, today, I have narrowed it down to 22 news articles, and I'm not going to get to all of those. So there's so much news, and I want to share all of them with you, but we don't have time for all that. Let's see. Latrice Jones says, I tried to type good morning twice, and autocorrect changed it to God. So we must need it to be a God morning. Hello, somebody. I like that. I see you, Lori Wallace. I see you, Jeffrey Allen James. Robert Holman, you put a chat yesterday that you wanted to chat, but I'm not sure if you received my response after the show. So if you do need to chat, do it to my personal DM on Facebook, and I'll chat with you there. All right, y'all. Today is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, March the 21st, 2023. I am your host, Gail Dudley, the Audacious Advocate. And I welcome everyone who's tuning in live, or you're watching a replay, if you're in LinkedIn or YouTube or Facebook, or if you're an audio or podcast. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is. I'm just glad you're hanging out with us today. I am just so glad. All right, y'all. Women's History Month. Today is the day her book releases. Claim Your Confidence. If you have not grabbed your copy of this, go to Amazon and get this today. Let's support this sister. Y'all, this is the most download podcast of Politics and Prose. And I'm so excited to share all this with you all. The link is in there for you to listen to Politics and Prose. Y'all, if you have not done so, and we gave y'all the Amazon link, although it's on Apple and Spotify and iHeart and TuneIn and all the other ones. But y'all, let's support Lydia Finette. Her book, this book is great. If you have young girls in your life, get this book. Seriously. Teenagers, get this book. Millennials, get this book. Gen Zs, get this book. Gen X, get this book. Gen Z, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, get this book. Y'all, get this book. I see you, Tracy Burrs. I see you. Marian says, my book arrives today from Amazon. Great. This book is phenomenal. And I'm very careful what I share here and promote. This book is phenomenal. I'm not getting affiliate marketing or I'm not getting anything. I just want you all to have in your hands this book. Y'all, Lydia is a global thought leader who has led auctions and raised over $1 billion for nonprofits globally. That should be enough for you all to get this book. Lydia takes auctions all over the world as a Christie's ambassador and the principal auctioneer of Broad Arrow Auctions. Lydia travels internationally. Y'all, she was even at the Oscars the other week. Internationally as a keynote speaker, inspiring people to unlock their sales potential and empowering women in the workplace. So if you're in sales, you want this book. You really want this book. She is the host of Claim Your Confidence podcast. She was named one of Gotham's magazine's most influential women and has been featured in the New York Times, Vogue, Elle, the Wall Street Journal, Forbes, and Cranes. And y'all, she was on my podcast, Politics and Prose. Y'all, she is the author of this book that releases today, Claim Your Confidence, and her widely acclaimed book, The Most Powerful Woman in the Room Is You. That book is also phenomenal. But get this one. If you got to choose, get this one, get this one, get this one. And she was opted by Netflix as well. She lives in New York City with her husband and 3 children. If you have not listened to the podcast, I encourage you to listen to it today. Again, the link is in YouTube, Ready Publication Facebook, and NewsInMotion Facebook. If anyone else is looking for it, let me know. We'll get you the link so you can tune in and listen to that. All right, y'all ready for That's Happening Tuesday? What's up, Kim Edmonds? I thought about you this morning laughing, going through all these news things. Let's go. Number 1. Yesterday afternoon, the New York Police Department began installing steel barricades around Manhattan's criminal court. Yes, it's still not a sure thing. He keeps saying he's going to get arrested today. Who knows? He just may. But if Trump is indicted and arrested, he'd be the first former president to face criminal charges. His lawyers have said that if that happens, he'll follow standard arrest procedures, including getting fingerprinted and having a mugshot taken. Y'all, some of this is theatrics. I think he wants to do all that because he doesn't. They can just tell him to come in. He'll come in, fly in, whatever he's doing, wherever he lives today, go in. They'll book him. They'll probably release him within an hour. But he wants to show. He wants to show. Second thing on the list for That's Happening Tuesday, HuffPost is reporting House GOP begins to scramble to defend Trump against a possible indictment. Say what? 3 leading House GOP members warned New York District Attorney Alvin Bragg. Now, they warned him. First of all, isn't that a threat? Can you really do that? But they did. That an indictment of Trump would be an unprecedented miscarriage of justice and would interfere in the course of the 2024 presidential election. Really? That's what you're thinking about? Not the fact that he paid off somebody, not the fact that his children, while he was in the White House, was making billions of dollars off of his relationships and foreign government and dignitaries. That's not important to you. It's not important to you that he has a rape case going against him right now. That's not important to you. It's not important to you that he was doing this. It's not important that there wasn't an insurrection. Seriously, you're worried about the interference with the 2024 presidential election? What? But let that sit where it goes. Number 3. At some point, you would think he would just go into a hole somewhere. Yeah, the top 3 are all about the former guy. Y'all, AP is reporting Trump loses bid to keep key evidence out of the rape trial. He lost the bid. He wanted to keep key evidence out. And they're like, no, it's staying in. A federal judge rejected a request by Trump to keep key evidence out of his civil rape trial next month. The judge ruled that key Witnesses will be allowed to testify and deal with the remarks made by Trump in 2005 when he apparently didn't realize he was being recorded. We got you on tape, dude. It can be played for the jury that will hear the case brought by the former magazine columnist E. Jean Carroll. There's that. All right, y'all. Number 4, it still connects to him some way, shape, or form. Final Oath Keepers trial. This is NBC News that's reporting 4 associates in the anti-government Oath Keepers militia group were found guilty yesterday. Figure that, right? Of obstructing an official proceeding among an array of other charges for their roles in the January 6, 2021 storming of the U.S. Capitol. Yeah, it ain't going nowhere because you did it. 2 others were found guilty of lesser charges of entering and remaining on restricted grounds. The verdict marked the end of the 3rd and final trial examining the role of the group's members of the Capitol storming. Unlike the first 2 set of trials, the most recent set of Oath Keeper members were not facing seditious conspiracy charges. The most significant count to have been brought so far against those arrested in connection of the storming. So y'all, federal prosecutors, if y'all been waiting for the numbers, they have charged 950 people across 48 states for participating in the January 6th event. Number 5, CBS News reports that at least 16 are dead and hundreds injured after a 6.8 magnitude earthquake hit Ecuador in northern Peru on Saturday. A lot of people aren't talking about that. What's up, Hester? I see you coming in here. Yes, Kim Edmondson, he's a criminal. Yes, Dr. Antoinette, theatrics. Yes, Dr. Antoinette, he'll find a way to make a reality TV show out of this. Yes, Rosanna, I hope it's on court TV. Listen. Number 6, Reuters reporting militants killed at least 22 civilians in latest strings of attacks in resource-rich region of Democratic Republic of Congo. Say that real fast. This all happened on Saturday. Number 7, South African police arrested 87 people ahead of a planned protest. South Africa's second largest opposition party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, are planning to hold a demonstration the other day. And this is Bloomberg that's telling us all about this, calling for the president to resign over the country's rolling blackouts. Get this, y'all. I was there during the time of a rolling blackout, and I'm like, what we do? What we did? They were like, nothing, just stay still. Don't go out in the streets. Don't go out in the hallway. You just have to stay in your room. And you would look out the window, you would see people marching along with their rifles and machine guns. I was like, what did I decide to do? But I was there for a women's conference preaching the good news of Jesus, so I just had to roll with it. But we had security too. I was like, this could be kind of cool walking around with security. But after I realized what was really going on, get me out of here. Number 8, y'all, in Somalia, an estimated 43,000 people have died. And this is Associated Press reporting during Somalia's drought last year. Half of them were likely children, according to a study at the London School of Hygiene and Tropical Medicine conducted for the United Nations. So that is happening due to a drought. That is happening. Number 9, Prime Minister Netanyahu modifies judicial reform. Why? What happened? What made him do that? Y'all remember I was in his chambers, right? When I was in Israel. Y'all, I just love the life that God has blessed me with. That when I even see news articles about him, I'm like, I was in his chamber. I was in his office. I was in all those places, hanging out with the lawmakers, learning how they do things. Y'all, it's just cool. Every now and then I have to have a flashback. And Jesus had to remind me, girl, I done brought you a mighty long way. I done put you in the rooms of some mighty people. And you just keep going. And you forget that when you act like things aren't going right for you. Every now and then we got to do a rewind to see where we really are. So let's talk about him, y'all. The changes to the Israel Prime Minister judicial reform plans include reduced government control over the nominations of some judges. But where did this come from? Well, after he had a little talk with our president, Joe Biden, it prompted him to make some changes. But now it has caused street protests in Israel. Number 10, during a meeting in Egypt, Israeli and Palestinian officials, slow down, Gail, agreed to cooperate to curb the counter violence. AP is reporting, that's Associated Press, in case you don't know, during the Islamic holy month of Ramadan, which begins this week. Yeah, take me back there. I was in Israel during that time several years ago, 2018 to be exact. It's just amazing how everything, how we here say, oh, we're gonna open on Sunday. There, no, ain't nothing happening. You better have you some protein bars or something and have it in your luggage because you ain't eating. If it's Ramadan or it's one of their holy holidays, you can't even press the button to go up the escalator. You can't even do the elevator. You can't even do that. You better walk up them steps. You better hope you have a low floor. And their hotels are real big. I think I was on the 20-something floor. I was like, whoo. I was with my friend Julie. We were together. I was like, if we walk down, girl, it's going to take us probably about 2 hours to walk back up. So what do we have up here that we don't have to go nowhere because ain't nothing open anyway? Yeah, so that's happening. All right, y'all. Number 11, CNBC reports at least 4 U.S. lawmakers, 2 from each side of the aisle, said that they would support raising the cap on the FDIC-insured deposits in order to reassure frizzled bank customers that their deposits are safe. Well, some of us don't have it like that, so we don't know what that even looks like. But if you just hold my $100, I'm good. How about that? Number 12, TikTok CEO is on Capitol Hill today. Yep, he will testify before the House and Energy Commerce Committee on Thursday, today and Thursday, 2 days. Excuse me. Number 13. Chinese president traveled to Moscow for a 3-day meeting with President Putin. Just all that, just all that's going on. They're coming to some type of agreement. They're talking about how he can stop fighting Ukraine. But Joe Biden's like, what's that all about? What did you give up to get them to stop fighting? What's really going on here? What's the alliance that's happening? So all that's unpacking. I see you, Stephanie Burbridge Hall. All right, y'all, number 14. I'm never going to make it to 22, but we're going to see how fast we go. Y'all, this one right here, and I'm going to slow this one down because I got to walk through this one. I actually kept laughing every time I was reading this. Y'all, 10 Tampa Bay is reporting Clearwater Mayor Frank Hibbert abruptly resigned during a city council meeting yesterday, talking about this is reckless spending. He's a Republican, y'all. He suddenly resigned on yesterday during the meeting. He says in a quote, "This is probably one of the toughest things I've ever done in my entire life, but I know it's right because I'm not a quitter." He says, "But I am not the right leader for this council anymore." That's what he said, y'all. He said, I ain't the right one for this. I'm about to get up out of here. So he went on to explain his concerns and where the city is going while also continuing to state that he's not the right person for the position. No, he says in the quote, it's simple math and we're not doing well on this test. Now, he's like, I'm done. He explained, he says, I know, this is a quote, I know it's shocking, but I'm just the wrong guy right now. It's been more and more obvious to me that as much as I love this city and as much as I want to stick around for some of the things that are going to occur over the next several months, I'm simply not the right person to be here anymore. He then gathers his stuff. This is on video. Just go to YouTube. Y'all can see this. He gathers his stuff. He goes, I'm out. He gives the peace sign. He goes, I'm out. And then he appoints somebody else and say, here, let him be the interim until y'all find a new mayor. That's what he said. And he left. They later catched up with him and said, okay, what was all this about? And he says, and I quote, we always have bumps in the roads, as people say. If it weren't for people, everything would be easy. The now former mayor says, so thank you all, and God bless you all in this city. He says, I wish you all the best. Thank you for what you've been to me. And he said, I'm gone. He left. He resigns. I quit. I'm out of here. Some other people caught up with him and asked him more questions. He said, just everything's just whatever. And now I have to say, he's a Republican, and people on both sides of the aisle love this guy. He was like, they're just doing some things that I'm just not with anymore. I'm not the right person. Y'all, that says something when you can be that confident in yourself to say, it ain't for me anymore. I'm not the right person. Where y'all need to go now It's just not me. I can't do it. So I respect them for that. Let me see what some of you are saying. Dr. Antoinette says, same, some do that here as well. Oh, you're talking about for Sabbath during the Ramadan or other holidays. Yep. And don't even flush the toilets because it's considered work. Yep. Kim Edmondson says, who does that? Latrice says, Clearwater mayor is keeping it real while making sure he enacts the CYA rule. Listen. He's like, I'm out. In Florida, y'all, Miami Beach has imposed a curfew after 2 fatal shootings occurred during spring break. People are rolled up in Florida like, what? It's like, what is really happening right now? So who knows what's going to happen with spring breakers as the years keep rolling around. Number 16, Amazon will lay off another 9,000 staffers. So what's really happening to Amazon? Jeff Bezos done left, and now they losing all these people. What's really going? Is it that we're really not buying like the numbers are saying we're buying? Something is happening. Stores are closing. People aren't buying, so they're laying off people. Y'all, the e-commerce giant recently finished letting go 18,000 employees, and now they're laying off an additional 9,000. It's already announcing another round of job cuts to reduce spending. So it's all about spending. There's that. All right, y'all. Number 17, New York Times is reporting, according to New York Times right-wing conspiracy theorist Alex Jones is hiding his money. We knew he was do that, right? In order to avoid paying over the $1.4 billion in legal damages he owes to the families of Sandy Hook shooting victims, which they won over a course of 2 lawsuits last year. Now, Alex Jones lost the lawsuits over his claims that the Sandy Hook shooting was a hoax. It's unclear if the families of the victims will ever see any of his money, even though his net worth is estimated as high as $2.7 million at one point. So a lot's happening there. The networks of family business contracts claiming bankruptcy during the trial last year. He splurged on $80,000 on private jets and even more security in a private villa. Now the families will only see probably a fraction of the money. He's hiding. He's putting names on stuff. Now this is what I gotta say about that, y'all. Remember when we were talking about elder care and rehabilitation and Medicare and Medicaid? And if you have Medicare at some point will cut you off and not pay your bills, but you just can't transfer the name of a house from the parents to a child. It has to be 5 years in a day. Well, how's he able to transfer all this stuff without it being even 24 hours? Like, how is he able to do that? Yes. Latrice says, now see, she said, this is why my deliveries are taking longer. I even had a text alert this morning, Latrice. I gotta be with you on that. I was trying to keep it quiet on the download, but since she put it out there, I'll put it out there too. I got a thing that says, your package is delayed 24 hours. What? That's Prime. Why am I not getting my package right now? Well, it's delayed. Well, now we know they cutting more jobs. All right, y'all, I don't know what number it is. 18. CNN reports FCC, everyone should really shout on this one. And Robotext, the Federal Communications Commission just adopted, y'all, its first rules targeting spam text messages that have plagued us for years. Yes, we're winning on that one, y'all. The new rules require phone providers to block text messages from suspicious sources, including phone numbers that appear to be invalid, unsolicited, unallocated, or unused. Carriers will also have to block text messages coming from phone numbers that claim not to ever send text message or that the government has identified as numbers not used for texting from the FFC. Say all of that real fast. They would additionally need to expand national do not call registry protections to include text to prevent consumers from receiving unwanted text messages. Wow. Y'all should be shouting. If you're driving, just shake your head like, that's good. That's good. Everybody else, you can have a dance party, praise break, whatever, right there. All right, y'all, number 19. In business news, y'all, get this. AI assisted works win copyright approval. How you went copyright approved? You're not a human being. Well, I went looking to see what all this means. The future AI generated works may not be eligible for copyright protection, but the Copyright Office may allow AI assisted workers to receive a certificate. They're trying to keep y'all's job. They're trying to keep y'all's job. They're like, we ain't gonna let the people get obsolete. They're gonna have to work with AI to get the certificate. So they're always gonna have to have a human being that's working next to them. Well, that's a win for us, some way, shape, or form. Y'all, this is all still in flux though. After I built you up, I gotta let you back down a little bit. The office will be holding a listening session soon to better understand what is at play here. But the partial copyright of AI works may sow even more confusion among artists and those that employ them. Like, what can I really still paint a picture, or will AI paint the picture? Can I write a book, or will AI write the book? Well, if I write the book and I use AI, which I wouldn't, at least I don't think I will, and I use AI, will I get the rights to it, or will AI get the rights to it? Y'all, it's a whole lot of mess around this. See, we are quick to put things out there because we become a lazy society. That's what's really happening. And we put things out there, and then all of a sudden, like, oh, I just lost my job in this. Oh, I just lost my rights on this. Oh, and here's my thing. Is AI going to show up in court when we have an argument? What's happening here? What is really going on? Y'all better stop being so quick to put this stuff out here, because you may be removing yourself, your money, and everything else out the place. Let me see what y'all saying. Lori Williams says, my packages have been coming earlier than ever, some of them next day instead of 4 to 5. Maybe you're using Prime, Lori. Maybe that's what it is. Dr. Antoinette says, you mean we won't get more messages about the extended warranty? Girl, no. Can you believe that? I'm really excited about all of that. Dr. Antoinette says, lies. Amazon has so many deliveries until they come in any and all vehicles. Kim Edmondson from YouTube says, yeah, we got to keep our eyes on AI. We got to keep our eyes on AI. For real, for real. Y'all don't even know what number it is anymore. But the next one, we're living in the world of COVID forever and ever. Amen. Y'all, according to Axios, here's what people do and don't like about how we now buy and eat. I thought this was very interesting because y'all know I've been saying for a long time, and Kim Edmondson laughs at me every time I talk about it, that I have really enjoyed pulling up saying, bring my food out here. Just bring it on out here because I'm not getting out the car today. Well, there was this study conducted. So when we look at shopping, pros, mostly everyone is now comfortable with e-commerce and is on board with drive-through and pickup options for shopping. Okay. Cons, the shrinking of the store hours and the consistent supply chain shortages have become a headache. People are like, we don't need to keep our stores open much longer. So if you miss something, you would run and get it. Well, those options are shrinking. When it comes to dining, the pros, online ordering options and restaurant loyalty apps have won over customers because of the convenience. That's what I'm talking about. But the cons, they looked at the physical menus over the QR codes that will open on your phone. They're like, that ain't working. They said a 2022 survey by Technocomic found that 88% of diners preferred paper menus, but that age group was 55 and older. Yeah, they're like, I ain't doing that. But that goes to, I'm not changing. I've always read a menu. Bring me a menu. Just bring me a menu. So that's just some fun stuff I thought I'd put in there. All right, y'all, as we're wrapping this up, I don't know how we made it through all of this, but 22 on That's Happening Tuesday. This too is happening. Yeah, y'all about to hear this right. Rupert Murdoch, the 92-year-old executive chairman of News Corp, he is engaged to be married for the 5th time. I just thought I'd throw that out there and share that with all of you. Y'all, that was a lot of news. That was rapid fire. That was That's Happening Tuesday. So much is happening. But I do want to roll back real quick and go back to where I started. They're asking people to be on alert. They're saying that there's not much chatter at all about any protests for the former guy when it comes to a possible indictment today or even tomorrow. And they're saying, so be on alert, be aware, be mindful of your surroundings. They're talking about different barricades in different red states, that you just need to be careful. They're saying be mindful of walking with large purses or going into crowded areas. Be mindful. They're asking you also to look for exit signs. I know this is not to scare you. This is just to give you to bring about awareness of your surroundings. Why is all of this? This is my question, and I want to ask this to all of our listeners and viewers today. Why is this such a big deal? Well, number one, it would be the first time a president has been indicted. On top of that, there's threats out there. So even prayers that we should send out to the attorney general, not just the one in New York, but also the one in Georgia. That's still pending. Also pray for E. Jean Carroll's family, the threats that are coming out there. There's so much happening. Pray for Stormy Daniels and the threats that's going towards her and her family. Pray for the Michael Cohen, same thing. There's a lot that's going on. Pray for this country. I've been talking, many of you received the e-newsletter yesterday, and we must have nailed that one because we have received the most response from that e-news yesterday. And we talked about similarities and commonalities and how to focus on that. We shared the town hall meetings. If you have not subscribed to that email, I know many of you are saying, I don't need another email, but I promise you it's nothing but content. Every now and then there's offers out there, but the majority of it, I would say 98% of it is content. Yesterday, for those who are part of the March membership, Deborah says, how old is the bride to be? The March membership, we spent 1 hour talking about content. And Deborah was the one live. There's been a few replays already. But I want to tell y'all this about that. $8 for a monthly membership. But the content you receive, and Deborah just posted, she said, if you missed yesterday's webinar, you missed a serious opportunity to elevate your business. That's pretty much, that's about right. I gave my all in that. Everything that we give to you, we give our all. And we pride ourselves on that. So I get it. You're like, $8, I don't have $8. I get it. But is that worth it? That's really 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks. Actually, it's less than 2 cups of coffee at Starbucks. But we have to make that determination. Some of you have reached out to me about the grant I mentioned yesterday from the U.S. Department of Transportation. So I'm going to try to do this in a nutshell. So I tried to save as much time at the end as possible before I go into the inspirational message, and maybe I'll combine these together. You don't have to have a gas station, a filling station to be able to do an EV charger. When I read that, and we put that link in there yesterday, I'll have to get the link back up later today. I'll put it on the different pages. But the reason I said if you're a virtual assistant, somebody has to manage things. Somebody has to do the social media, so social media managers. Somebody has to do the project management, so the project managers. Someone has to lay the concrete. Someone has to remove the rocks, the concrete that they're building up. Someone has to come in and do the engineering. There are many pieces of a grant proposal that you put together. So one thing we have to do with our mindset is to change it and say, okay, how do I fit into this? How do I send out to just find out if anybody's applying for this and if they need this type of work? LinkedIn is the best platform to do something like that. Or if you know people in these different areas, you come together and do a focus meeting and have that conversation. But y'all, you have time. It's not due until May the 30th. But when they talked about urban communities and cities, that's their language for they're looking for these areas. Corridor, when they're talking about coming off of a highway, y'all already know what's normally around coming off of a highway in many of the areas. So that's where they'll be looking to put these EV stations. Why would you allow somebody else to come into your community to put that? You do that yourself. So y'all go to those links again. We'll put those links up there, and it will also be in a special e-news that I'm sending out either later today or tomorrow. So again, sign up for the e-newsletter. That is, you can go to gaildudley.com. It's on the home page. It says subscribe. Just subscribe, and then scroll through it if you want it. Keep it and keep reading. If you don't, hit delete and wait for the next one. But sometimes I think we miss opportunities when they're right here at our door. I can't, I've looked for it. I can't find another platform that's giving this kind of information, giving you grant proposals, giving you fellowships from the White House, giving you volunteer opportunities for decorations during the holidays from the White House, putting all of this information out there. What's happening at the prayer meetings at the White House, all these different things. We're giving these things to you. It's up to you to decide what you want to do with them. Let me see what some of you are saying. Deborah said Gail opened up her playbook and walked me through it. I did. I had a good time yesterday with that. Marion says she missed yesterday's, but you should have gotten the replay link. Let me know if you didn't get it. Mike Nicholson says someone's got to do those graphics. You're absolutely correct, Mike Nicholson. You are correct, and hopefully you connected with Andrea. Deborah saying, please watch the replay. Y'all, that's it. So the inspirational message is this. You get to decide if you'll walk through those open doors. You get to decide if you'll walk through those open doors. I don't have much to go with that. What's up, Devontae? I don't have much to go with that, but to say to you, you get to decide if you will walk through those open doors. The doors are open. They're open. They stay open. Do you have the confidence to walk through those open doors? This book, do you have the confidence to walk through those open doors? Do you have the boldness to walk through those open doors? Do you have the inner voice security to walk through those open doors? You get to decide. Here's a question for you. What have you left on the table? What have you left on the table? How many times have people invited you to something and you said no? Come to find out later, man, I should have been a participant of that. I should have rolled up. But we say no to things because of our fear, because of intimidation, because of insecurity. We say, I don't want that. And then we sit back and we wonder, why am I not getting these opportunities? Because you said no one too many times. Start saying yes. Claim your confidence, y'all. Claim your confidence. I support this book 1,000% by Lydia Vanette, and it hits the bookshelves today. Yes, Deborah, what have you left on the table? What? Y'all, this is the year of collaboration. People are starting to see that it's time for us to collaborate. So when you're putting like the grant I was telling you about from the U.S. Department of Transportation, it's an opportunity for collaboration. It's like there's no chiefs. There are people coming together to do their part. And I believe, based upon everything I've read, and I gave y'all a link yesterday, and again, I'll find the link or I'll put it in the e-newsletter to send it out today. I think that's how I'll do it. I'll put it in the e-newsletter so you can have all the links and you'll be able to open it up. I'll make sure every link is live in the PDF. But when you look at what they've written, what they're putting out here from the Biden administration for this particular grant proposal, you can read it and tell they're looking for collaboration. You can tell they are. So you're talking $2.5 billion. Billion, would it be? Would it be that you can be a part of that? Lori says, once you say yes one time and see the blessings, you walk bolder the next time. Do it afraid. I like that. Do it afraid. Yep, do it afraid. I like that, Lori. Do it afraid. I like that. All right, y'all, that was rapid fire. That's happening Tuesday. That was a lot of news, a lot. But tomorrow we will have Pastor Derek Holmes, who will be joining us talking about policing. I'm talking about policing. So I'm excited to have him join us tomorrow. Then we're here Thursday. We have Lexi back on Thursday. So we're just going to have fun on Thursday. We have Kenny back with all his March Madness stuff on Thursday. And then y'all next week, get all you can, because we will be breaking the entire month of April, returning in May. So y'all know we pumped. We're tired, but we're pumped, and we want to give you our all. We want to leave our all on the table before we take a break. All right, y'all. This has been your News in Motion. I am your host, Gail Dudley. You know what I say? Stay well, and remember, make some bold moves. I'm out.